Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. I was gifted some stamps by Ceri. Thank you. He just wanted to make me smile, and he totally did. Alright, these are not the books I want. So I'm going to play with those stamps today, but I want to find some book pages that I'm willing to do more with. Than, like, these are really, I don't know. I don't know that I really want to paint on these so much, but use them more for seeing. Because I had another book that I tore apart, and I wanted to show you how I tore it apart. So, BRB. This one will work. Doesn't have a cover. That's okay. That's why I got it cheap, probably, because it didn't have a cover. This is just $18.55 in Boston. Pictorial Miscellany Family Circle. I think I got it half off, so it was $5 probably. And I'm going to take off the back cover because I'll use that for something. I'll probably use it for a front cover somewhere because it is pretty. Can you see? It's got the pretty. I might even paint it and make it all fancy. The other book I tore apart before was this one. Also, I buy books for the covers. I totes buy them for the covers. Will the covers stay looking like that? Maybe. Or I might paint them to make them more fun. And I've just been using white paint and gesso and other paints and inks. But since usually when I'm using these in collage, I'm not going to use the edges, I went ahead and I just went through the first book and use my deckled edge ruler. You could use a straight ruler, or you could even use a ruler and a cutter. And I just tore off these because now I can use them to stamp on or to make swatches. And if I remember, I'll do a couple of those. Just take out a signature. I did it through the whole book. I'm not going to do that with this book. I was just showing you how I just pretty much go ahead and take them all off all at once. And then I don't have to do it later. Sometimes, usually it's easier to put the ruler on the smallest part. And then, look at that. All those torn off all at once. Super easy. And then what I'm left with is book page to use. And if I don't want the picture, I can just turn it over. Or if I want to cut out that picture to use it somewhere, I totally can. And then I've just been painting on these. So I'm going to gesso these with a brayer. You can use a paintbrush or a brayer or a scraper. You use whatever you want. That's not the important bit. Let's move those out of the way. No one wants to see you. They don't like looking at you. Just go over there. And I'm going to start with gesso. You could use white acrylic, or actually you could use any acrylic. You could use white or unbleached titanium, or I don't know. I usually start with a lighter color, just a little bit easier. And if you're using a brayer, just kind of get it all over your brayer. And pick if you like one side more. It won't matter. It's going to get covered up. You might sometimes see the words through a little bit. But when you put more layers on, that's going to get more hidden than it is now. But these are just fun papers to use for collage later. Whether you're using them in a masterboard collage, which I'll be doing some masterboardy stuff in May. I have several ideas. Or if you just use them as background on a tag or a journal card. They work really great. Works really great if you can get paint out too. There we go. Got some paint out. Sometimes using white and cream together and in layers. Like, so I'll put see, and the acrylic paint is more opaque than the gesso. But I might come back and also do some white on this over the cream. There we go. Just because that's an interest an interesting way to do things. This is a good way if you've got books where like the words aren't the best and you want to cover up the words, but you just might want some of the font to show through a little bit. And if you miss a few a little bit, that's okay too, because if you spray inks on it, the inks are going to pick up on the paper differently than they do where the paint is. You can have it thicker in some spots and thicker in some spots and thinner in some spots. It just adds interest. There's no wrong way to do it. Like I say, the only wrong way to create is to not create because of fear. That's the only wrong thing you can do. Everything else is totally right. And why would you want to be wrong when you can be right? If love and art is wrong, I don't want to be right. So here, I've just got kind of a little bit more blotchy, and I like that. That's good. Play with how you use paint and see what it is you like. Maybe you like blotchy, maybe you don't. Maybe you like it all smooth and perfect all over. It's really fine, whatever you do. And if you have a nice big piece of paper in the background, you end up with a fun piece to play with later. Just gonna spread that out a little bit. And then these need to dry. So I'm going to dry them and be right back. So for this next layer, and I will link the mags below who did something similar but different to what I'm about to do. But some of the steps she did were similar. So I do want to go ahead and tag her video down below. I need something that I can, I'm going to use this. I mean, I could use a gel plate or whatever. I just need something that is kind of slick. So I'm going to use this weathered wood oxide, spray it, and then I'm just going to put my brayer through that even. Just kind of add a layer. And do that for a couple of them. She used like a dragonfly something. I don't think what you use or how much you use really matters too much. I've got this lettuce here. I'm also gonna kind of spread that, not spread it, but you know, get it on my brayer is what I want to do. So this is alcohol ink. So I'm just spraying on some alcohol ink because I just kind of want you to see different things you can use. It doesn't have to always be this thing I use. Use what you have. That's what I'm saying. So it just kind of leaves like a transparent glaze on this next layer. That's all. That's what we're looking for here. It could even be paint. I don't think the color matters too much. It depends what you like. If you like more of a neutral, use more of a neutral. If you like it to be not quite as thick as that, just add some water. And that will thin it out some. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's more going on top of that. So, you know, perfection is not the goal, especially on these layers. I'm not even getting it complete coverage. I like that some other color is showing through. We still have quite a bit of that left, so we're using more of this quinacridone nickel azo gold, and the less we use, the lighter it is. And even just kind of get some cool patterns by doing it on the glassine, and then you get some interesting darker and lighter, which is good. Now these need to dry, and then I'm going to do another layer of gesso on top of these. I think that I'm still going to use a brayer. Let me dry these real quick. Now I'm loving this effect where some of the words are covered up and some of them are showing, although I'm not loving where it's talking about scalping, Indians and scalping, but that's okay. That may get covered up now. You could totally stop here. If this is what you love, you could stop here and use this, or you could stamp on this part. I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to do some more gesso. Gesso, if you're new, is an opaque matte white ground applied to surface to seal and prepare before painting. But also, we use it to push it back, way back, to push back layers and make them, you know, more muted into the background, basically. I'm not gonna not putting it on perfect. It's darker, lighter, because I do want some of that last layer to show through. I just don't want the whole layer to show through. I'm just kind of pushing back that last layer. You could do it a little bit, you could do it a lot. It's whatever end look you're going for. It's fine. I kind of really like what's happening down there, so I might just kind of start at the top and have it be less at the bottom. Could even just go ahead and put it right in the white paint there. That's going to give you a different effect. That also is workable. This one, I just want to push it back just in a little bit in a little spaces, but I like the texture that we got on there. And I'm almost out of gesso, but that's okay. Maybe bring in the titanium, what is it? Unbleached titanium again. And see what we get with that. So you get those like dendritic things, and if you don't want those, you just need to clean off your brayer a little bit more, or you might like that texture. See, that gives some texture. If I don't like that texture, then I just push it down. I still have some texture, but it's not quite as raised as it was. And I know you might feel like I'm wasting a lot on this paper over here. Here's that. And that line across there doesn't bother me. I'm going to bring some of this cream color in with the white over here. Each layer of paint on this background as well is just adding, there we go, like that. I don't want to cover the whole thing. It's adding thickness too, it's making my paper stronger and thicker. So we got a little bit of white and a little bit of the cream showing through there. Might even go back through with some white acrylic, which will be a little bit more opaque than the gesso. I don't want a lot, just a little. And I might even use like a scraper. It can be a card, it could be, this is, what is this? I don't know. Came from the Dollar Tree probably. It's just gonna leave some lighter marks. I don't know if I like that though. Let's see, where's the card? This will work too. It's gonna give you a different effect. Like that. See, I like that. That makes me happy. You could do that with the gesso. You could do that with any color paint, really. But adds to some nice background bits there. And when you have it on top of the, well, some of the cream got picked up from there, I think. Just makes it more opaque in that one spot, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I think I'm picking up some of the tan on the titanium buff on there too, and some of the green from underneath, but that's okay. When you watch Mags's video, she did some different stuff than I'm doing. I just think you might enjoy her video, so. Because she did a really cool mixed media background. And I like to highlight other creators when I see them do cool stuff, so. Alright, I'm gonna kind of pick up what I can over here, because that's kind of cool too. It just kind of picked up what was over here, some of the color and some of that white. You just don't want to leave it on there too long, or you're going to end up with your paper getting stuck. But you know, if the paint is still at least tacky, you get some cool things that happen. All right, because I think what she did next was she did like some inks, which I might do or I might not do. Let's see, we do have, she did them a little bit more on purpose, like, you know, she kind of did some browns, not this brown, but I'm not gonna, I think I'm just gonna use the brown with my brayer though. You can totally just take your ink and put some on your thing, and then just put it where you want it. Using a brush or a brayer just kind of adds A little bit more layers. We like layers. Layers are good. But yeah, she had some really interesting things happening with hers. Mine aren't going to do that. That's just, I'm just making backgrounds and then I'm going to stamp on them. That's basically what's happening. Doing a little bit of, yes, you can use craft paints for this. If you're wondering, you can use whatever, use what you have. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have craft paints, use craft paints. If you have Dollar Tree paints, use Dollar Tree paints. Use what you have. I really like this color with the quinacridone nickel azo gold because it kind of is like a patina kind of sort of. Just kind of wanted to flatten that one out on the other side a little bit, but still have it be. So this is where we are with this one, and I will probably use a bold dramatic color on top of that. I like that there's just a little bit on there. It's not doing what I want. Sometimes things don't do what you want, and you just go with whatever's happening sometimes. Maybe it'll do what you want, maybe it won't. It'll still look cool in the end. So, and the more layers you do, the cooler or less cool it will be. Who knows? I'm going to leave this one, and I'm going to leave that one, not add more layers to those until I do my stamping. And might as well see one that's kind of more plain, right? All right, I'm gonna dry these and then be right back. Oh, we still have this one too. Are we keeping up with all the ones we started with? I don't know. Look at me doing it almost neutrally. I know. To me, this is neutral. That's as neutral as I get. I'm pulling out my little baby gel plate so that I can use that for, oh, and you want to see the stamps that Ceri gave me? They're all his, of course. And I can tell you, I would have ordered these eventually. But he gifted them to me, which was so sweet. So we have the Mark Maker Diamonds Artist Tool, very cool. Sketchy Grid, that was definitely on my list, both of these were. And the Grungy Circles, the large, the 2 sizes. So, very excited. And now I just have to decide which one to use first. I'm thinking this one, and I'm going to do that one in a little bit of a, I'm going to see if I can do it with this alcohol ink, which is Smolder, which is one of the colors I used on a couple of these. I'm going to use quite a bit on there. I've never tried using alcohol inks with this, so we're going to see how it works. It actually kind of does. I'm not mad at it. And I do like, especially like where you got that nice light subtle color on the white. I like that. So let's do that again with another one of these. Do we want to use Smolder again? Yeah, we'll use Smolder again. Probably have to, you know, dries up pretty quickly. Probably want to clean that off of your stamp right away too, because it's alcohol ink and it's a solvent and you don't want to ruin your stamp. That's why. So I'm just gonna spray that with water and grab a paper towel. And just get it cleaned off of there. So this one was the diamonds, the Mark Maker's diamonds. Kind of like a Harlequin kind of a thing. Harlequin-y look. Alright, and then I want to come back with some of the colors I've used. And so the quinacridone nickel azo gold is a good background color to use. And I think I'm going to come in with a big one, even though these are smaller pieces. And just kind of get some of that in the background. Like that. And even do, whoops, a little bit on there. And one more. Like that. get some on my background paper because that's what's fun. And clean it off because that's paint and we don't want the paint to ruin our stamps. Oh, that would have been good to do on something, huh? Just make sure your paint gets wiped off your stamps. A little baby wipe, damp paint. Yeah, you're gonna get, if you're using a paper towel, you are gonna get lint in there. Just saying. Maybe you don't want to do this with your brand new stamps, but I mean, usually I use permanent ink on my brand new stamps, so what's the difference? Just want to make sure there's no acrylic because that will ruin how your stamps stamp. We don't want that. All right, let's just actually just gonna kind of pick up some of what's on there because there's some pattern from the stamp itself, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna take off quite a bit of the, because now I'm going to come in with another color that I was using, which is, what is this? Cascade Folk Art Home Decor. In case you're wondering, it's chalk paint. It costs a little bit more, but you know, fun. And they make weird, you got to shake them up really good or you end up with like dark at the top, which has happened to me. Just want to lay that out enough. Well, the alcohol ink under there is probably messing it up a little bit, but that's okay. Let's come in with some sketchy grid. Need to press in the middle. Also probably have a little more paint on there, but that's okay. I'm gonna just kind of hit. I love this. I love the sketchy grid. Just FYI. Some round and squares on the same thing is a nice way to do things. I'll show these again at the end. No, I don't want that color on that, but I definitely want that color on here. Especially, whoops, where there's not. Just kind of bring one more. There's a little bit on this one. Just, I am happy overlapping patterns too. Like those, all those overlapping, I'm happy with that. That makes me happy. I'm getting a new paper towel. I find it easiest to like spray the paper towel, then it's damp, and then you can kind of get off the rest of that paint. You can also take them into the bathroom and clean them in there too if you don't feel like that's quite enough. Now for where is it, the smaller, I think I want to come in with something a little more bold, like either a dark brown or a black, and we could even go crazy and go red, but we got that bright orange. I don't want the bright orange. Of course the color I want is not there. Of course it's not. Why would it be? Why don't you choose black? Why not? I'm just gonna take what's on my brayer and whoops, just add more texture to that one, because why not? All right, so now I'm gonna take the smaller of this, what are they, sketchy circles? Grungy circles, sorry. And add those to the background. Yes, even on the ones where there's the big sketchy circles, we can overlap them. And they add interest for sure. This one doesn't have anything. And so if you want to put like a focal point in here, you might want to keep them on the outside, or you might want to keep them on the inside. Either way is good. Oh, you could even, I don't want to do that color. Oh, let's try this. Oh, actually, I'm going to use the weathered wood because that's what we used earlier in some of the things. Maybe not on this one, but, and because this is a little bit damp, it may come out a little bit different. All that lint you see there should not affect the stampingness of it. So I'm just going in different positions now than where I was. So now we have overlapping circles, and I'm loving that. That's really cool. I love that. Okay, I'm glad I did that. That makes me happy. What about this one? This one needs more. It might just need some weathered wood. See, we love it. When I do patterns, I tend to do different size patterns. So we have like the large circles and then the small And then we also have the wording in the back a little bit. Let's see, I was thinking brown for some of this. So we have this in the background, but I also might put it in the foreground as well with this pine cone. Versifine Clear pine cone, which is a fairly dark brown. And you can do it all over like this. Like you could have it cover the whole thing. It looks so cool. Do we want to add just some hints of it on this? I'm kind of digging this overlapping and overlapping and overlapping thing happening. I'm not sure Ceri will like it. Not really. It's kind of a little messy for him, but that doesn't mean he won't try it. I'm telling you, he tries stuff. He's so good. So yeah. So here, highlight of Ceri's stamps that he sent me. Hold on, because I got some other Ceri stamps. I got a couple that I use all the time if I can find them. But his sketchy circles are some of my favorite ones to use. But I don't know where they are right now. So I would use these. Let's see, how would I use these? I would use these either in a collage or in, you know, or I would use them just to make a piece of ephemera. So let's go ahead and grab something to use as a base. Well, how about, oh gosh, why does my brain stop? Here, I just have this, I think it's kind of like an index card, but it's like got a nice patina on the back. So I'm just going to use this. And let's see, do we want to, since I use similar colors and patterns and whatnot, I think these will make kind of a cool, I think I'd be able to use these. That's not quite tall enough. Just kind of bring that there. Could even bring that, no, I don't want that down there. Maybe that there. Maybe something a little more neutral in the middle. Could even come this way. Could have it be sideways or whatever. Alright, I'm going to put this one down and then put the other ones in. I'm just going to glue on this card. It doesn't have to be this big. You could always cut it down. You could always make a masterboard out of them too, which is, you know, just glue on a large piece that you then cut down. Or you can just glue them on whatever side piece you're going to use. So, I'm going to stick that kind of there. Pull it to the bottom though, I think, so I can have a bigger piece to play with later. And get the edge of that. I'm not worried about if the letters going upside right or upside down, because you can't see them much anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, that didn't quite go over far enough, but we're not going to worry about it. Why are we not going to worry about it? We're just not. You can always do another piece of something up there. Alright, I don't usually measure and then put on, because then you have to fit it perfectly. And that's why I glued on the card itself, so then I can still use these. They're a little bit gluey, but not as much as they would be if I had glued on the back of them and then glued them down. You could keep it hanging off. That little rough edge that I had would have been nice to just leave as a rough edge, but I didn't this time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And if you don't like that little spot down there that's showing, that's not a problem. You just kind of bring in another little piece, which could even bring this over here. Have that upside right helps a lot. I just want a little bit of it, I think, and then kind of come over to the, just kind of like that. Just bring that over here a little bit. Why not? And And then we still have that little piece that we can use on something else. I didn't have to cover that little piece. Could have just inked it up. It would have been fine. There we go. So that as it is nice. Or just come back in with your gesso. Yeah, we do that. Just to unify it a little bit. Just take your finger, just kind of, sometimes kind of come on these like little edge pieces and just go like that. Just kind of blends those pieces together a little bit more. So I just kind of put it on the crease and then just rub across as much or as little as you want. Use your finger, use your brush, use what you like. Just kind of trying to cohesify it to make it look like one piece, background piece. And then I'm not going to waste that gesso. I will use that on some of these other pieces that I've got here. Because I've been painting lots of pieces. See, this one you can see I just glued down a bunch of book page and then just did several layers of paint on them. And then what I might do with these is use them in the either in the die cut machine and make leaves, or just use them as backgrounds. I don't know yet. I don't know. And then for this, depending on how I want it to go, I want a, should we do the zinnia on there? Still a little bit big though. We could use one of our stamps. What if I use this like leaves? So I did the zinnia and then had this coming off like leaves. I could do that. What color should we do the zinnia? We've got oranges in here. Chianti. You know I like my Chianti. Alright, so this is one of my stamp designs I'm using as the focal point. Because why not? Because I needed one. Carrie's got some. Carrie, what do you have as focal points? You must have some. Yes, he's got the hydrangeas. I don't have the hydrangeas. Okay, not bad, not bad. Try not to get paint on it when you're doing this, Darcy. That does not. Make sure you get the paint off if you do get paint on there. And then I was thinking this might be kind of fun to be like, let's do the turquoise instead of green though. So I'm going to use this peacock feather like it's leaves coming off of here, I think. And don't want it to come over these leaves right here, so I'm just gonna put a little masking right there. Come off like that. And kind of do the same thing over here. Just kind of gonna cover where these do that and flow it out up there. So there we are. We got our background and a focal point, and kind of looks fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you have a delightful day. Go make some painty papers if that's what you're into. Oh look, I forgot to put stamps on these. Oops-a-la. Let's do that real quick. Where's Carrie's stamps? Pine cone. Pine cone, which with whatever color was already on there, will work good. I think I want something. No, I don't care. I'm just gonna. And a lot of times you do your little triangle, 3 spots makes a triangle, and then your eye moves in those 3, you know, moves around the piece like that. Is nice. And let's see. That's kind of a break. Oh, now we could. Oh, do we want to use the turquoise? Sure, why not? I use the turquoise because I can. Because orange and turquoise are, they make me happy. There we go. And also the green and turquoise also make me happy. You don't have to press the whole thing down. You can cover the whole thing even if you wanted to. Let's use Chianti. Where's the cover? Put the cover on now or I'll never remember. There we go. Love that. I like the circles with the little sketchy thingamabobs in there. And the background paper is the one that usually ends up being the coolest because I didn't care, so I just put them every which way. Was not scared to do any of that. Let's see, what about... This is Viridian. It's going to be kind of a bright green. Might not be the right choice. Actually, I think I'll do it on this. Oh, ended up had the brown behind it. But this is kind of cool, even like behind, you know, over or behind those leaves. Kind of made that better too, didn't it? Yeah, it's not getting a true color because I think I had the pine cone on here before. Now it's a little bit more. Here we go. So, here are all the pieces that oh, that one didn't get done either. What is wrong with you, lady? Lady. You can even just kind of do some edge pieces like that. And of course, another thing you can do on these is you can just draw on them your focal point. As long as your paint's dry, because you don't want to ruin your pen. I'm pretty sure my paint is dry, but also I don't want to ruin my pen. But the nice thing about doing it, like when you have your stamps on there, then you can fit your drawing thing that you're going... Don't ruin my pen. Thank you. You can fit it to be within the confines of the thing if you want to. I will probably come back through and put some lines in these when it's totally... I don't want to ruin my pen. Acrylic inks that are not totally dry will definitely ruin your pen. Acrylic inks that are dry may ruin your pen. There's no guarantees here, people. Just saying. But this is ways to use your book page. I like to give you more than one idea. If you don't draw, well then you get yourself some stamps that you like, or fussy cutting. Look at books and whatnot. Oh, it's killing my pen. Nope, spit does not make it better. Just FYI. I don't think alcohol does either. But yeah, I took too many chances with my pen. This is an expensive way to lose pens. So I will find another pen when that's totally dry. You could also add other stamps too. But for now, we're working on these stamps. Oh, so if you don't want to ruin your pens, you just use a paint pen and then you won't have to worry about that so much. Also, it shows up better, so I might just come back in with this pen. It'll overlap in some areas and not be perfect. It's okay. Perfection is overrated. Embrace imperfection. I don't think I'm the only one that says that, but I definitely do say that quite often. But since it's in Louisa's song, I'm guessing she must say it too. I don't think I've ever heard her say it, but she must, because it's in the song. The Don't Freak Your Freak song. You guys heard that song yet? Do you know what I'm talking about? Louisa Heinzel. So if you like mixed media, you should definitely be watching Louisa Heinzel. I know she does a lot of stuff that looks really hard, but really, it's some really cool stuff. And even if you do a tenth of what she does, you'll be doing some really cool stuff. Just saying. So, even with arthritis in your hand, you can draw. My hands are good. Oh, by the way, update. I'm on a second round of prednisone because the first round did not work. It's the same dosage as before, 5 milligrams, 3 pills for 3 days, 2 pills for 2 days, one, you know, blah, 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 till you're down to till they're gone. So the first, I think they call it a taper, or I just call it a round. The first course of prednisone didn't do anything. But this time, I'm just a tiny bit better each morning. It's just a little bit less pain each morning. And by bedtime, I can do stuff. I don't have the energy to do stuff, but I'm not in so much pain that I could do stuff. I did straighten out the kitchen last night. So yeah. So any of these I could use in collage. I could just make a piece of whatchamacallit. And let's see, did you want to see one with a focal point? Let me grab a focal point. Alright, I pulled out some focal points that have like similar colors. Like this has got the teal, or the aqua on there on the outside. And the squirrel is similar color. So I think that works kind of nicely. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Kind of put them off to the side. I don't put things in the middle. I just don't. I could add some numbers. Yes, the words are upside down. That's okay because it's just backwards. See, I can see they're upside down there. I mean, it's just background. Backwards. It's just background. See, these smaller pieces were from another book, but you got to see me decorate them anyway. I'm not going to use him because I have to cut that out, and I don't want to right now. So he might be cool on here. See, he would be kind of fun, and then put a snarky comment up there. Except for, I think I like him. Yeah, I'm going to put him on there. And then at some point in the future, I'll find a quote or maybe a snarky comment. I don't know where my snarky comments are at the moment. And put that on there. But color-wise, I think he looks really great. He's got this color. You don't have to match your focal points like that. Sometimes I do. Let's see. What other pieces do we have? These ended up getting, these were from the last batch that I did. They were not from this current batch that I made bases for. They were from the previous batch. This is from the current batch. All right. Oh, see, he would have looked good on there too. Oh, so would he. See, he'd just be really cute just down there in the corner. Could put some book page behind him, but don't have to. That could totally just be a little nature book fall journal, especially with the colors, right? And I could put a quote up there. Could cut it off here to make it a pocket. Could have added a flower behind him, so he popped a little bit. These smaller pieces. Why did I think I had? I didn't, but you know, but I did. All right, so I had. Let me find all the pieces that. Here we go. I was like, I know I have more pieces this size, right? I was thinking they would be kind of cool too. These little. So they're a possibility. I need to cut those out, and I might even would put some book page behind them. Or they could even have like this flower behind them. You can put whatever you want behind them. Layer them how you like. Or even this metal turquoise flower. It's not quite the right color turquoise, but you know. He'd look cool on there too. It's a lot brighter here. I think they work better. Could even cut them apart and move them up or down. But I probably won't. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was 4, 5, 6. That was 3 pieces, right? 7, 8. Is that how many pieces we started with? Like 8 pieces, and then we've got some scraps left over, plus a couple pieces. And oh yeah, scraps left over. Yep. All right, so this was just me playing with my new stamps from my friend Ceri. Thank you, Ceri, so much. I appreciate you so much. He just wanted he wanted me to have something to smile about while dealing with my rheumatoid arthritis and stuff, and it totally made me smile. Almost made me cry, but it definitely made me smile, and I have truly enjoyed playing with these stamps. I am so glad to have them. Thank you so much, Ceri. I appreciate you more than you will ever know, or hopefully maybe you do know. I hope you all have a delightful day, guys. Oh, and when I say Ceri, I mean Ceri Griffiths, aka Ceri the Crafter. These are sold at pmartiststudio.com. So, you know, if you're interested in really cool foam stamps and stencils made by really cool designers like me and Ceri, go shop there. Self-promotion is not fun. All right, love you guys. Have a delightful day. Bye.